Hi, everybody. This is the last Zoom for packet 2. You need to make sure you got packet 3, and you can pick up that today. Well, that time's over to pick up today, but tomorrow is the last time you can pick it up, which is the 6th of May, Wednesday. So let's get busy. Okay, yesterday we're doing substitution and elimination. There's an example of each. You have a circled part for substitution. You have an elimination goal. Our goal here was +3 and -3. So we have to choose on the last ones what we're going to do. Either have something circled, or we're going to have a goal to add or subtract something away. So let's get started. Look at this one. I see x equals, so I'm going to circle what's on the other side of it, and I'm going to call this substitution. Probably could have abbreviated that anyway, but I have x is this, so I'm going to put this in x's spot. Okay, notice x has no coefficient, so I will not need parentheses here. So I know I'm going to need some more room here. Okay, so I'm going to write 1, 2, 3, these 4 characters in the place of that 1 character. 3 minus 3y plus 3y equals -6. Okay, I'm going to look at it. I have a number. I have 2 variables. So I'm going to combine those. If you say -3 plus 3, you get 0. So basically, this is saying that this 3 equals -6, which is not possible. So I'm going to mark that out. And we've seen this before a long time ago. But if you ever have a number that doesn't equal another number, then the answer is no solution. So this one problem is going to be pretty short. No solution. And what that means is you have parallel lines, so these lines do not touch. So there's no place where they cross, so there's no solution. So number 6 is no solution. There it is right there. Okay, going on. Okay, number 7. Okay, I have y equals. So I'm going to circle what y is, and I'm going to put it in y spot. Now, even though one is lowercase, one's uppercase, it's just the autocorrect. So don't worry about that. This is still just a small y, really. But I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters and put a place of that 1. 5, x minus 14 equals -2x plus 7. Okay, I'm going to look at this. I have variables on both sides, numbers on both sides. I don't have an answer. So then what's going to come to my mind is I need to look for the smallest variable and move it over to the other side. And in this case, out of a 5 and a -2, the -2 is the smallest. So I'm going to add 2x to both sides. Okay, these subtract away, and I'm left with equals 7. I have 5x plus 2x is 7x minus 14. Okay, now I have an answer. So I don't have a choice as to what I move now. If this is a number, and there's a number over here, I have to move it to it. So I'm going to add 14 away. And the 14 subtract away, so I have 7x equals 21. We know that is 3. X equals 3. Okay, I'm going to jump up here because I don't want to work the whole thing and found out I've made a mistake. Okay, x is 3. Okay, and here is probably the answer. So we're hoping the y value is 1. So here we go. I'm going to use the circled. And what do we say? X was 3. So in this place, X is 3. So Y equals 5 times 3, not just 53, but 5 times 3, minus 14. 5 times 3 is 15, minus 14, and that equals 1. So my final answer is 3, 1. And that is number 7. Okay, 2 more. Okay, look at this. I see AX plus BY equals C, but we have another substitution because I see Y equals. So I'm going to circle, let me get another color, circle this, and that is what I substitute. And it's going to go in Y's position, which is way over here. Okay, now this is 3 times everything that Y is, so I will have to have parentheses to put around this. So I'm gonna copy this in its one position. I'm gonna put 1, 2, 3, 4 characters. Negative 4, X plus 3, 3X plus 2 equals negative 4. Okay, I have to distribute. I'm gonna recopy this, nothing happened to it. 3 times 3x is 9x. 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, I'm going to look around to see what I do. I know the 6 will have to come over to the 4, but right now I have 2 variables that I need to combine. The signs are opposite, so I'm going to subtract and take the sign of the larger, which just leaves it positive, plus 6 equals negative 4. And again, here I now have an answer, and this is a number just like the answer, so I'm going to bring it over by subtraction. These have the same sign, so I'm going to add and take the sign of larger. Okay, let me push this down. Okay, I'm going to divide by 5, and x equals negative 2. Okay, x equals negative 2. Okay, I see 1 here, so this looks like that's it. So hopefully the other answer is negative 4. Okay, so I'm going to use the circled equation. Y equals 3 times negative 2, and then plus 2. Okay, 3 times negative 2 is negative 6, plus 2. Opposites, I'm going to subtract, take the sign of larger. So my final is the answer, my final version of the answer is the x value first, negative 2, and the y value next, negative 4. And that is number 8. Okay, and number 9, last one. We'll change color. Oh, and we have substitution again. Look, we have x equals. So, and according to my son, substitution is the only way to solve. So, here we go. This is an x value. Unlike this one, we put this one in a y position. This one's an x, so I'm going to put it in the x position. So right here, instead of 1 character, I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters. 4y plus 13 plus 2y equals 1. Okay, I'm looking around to see what I'm going to do. I know the 1 and the 13 are both numbers, but on this side, I need to combine these like terms first. 4y plus 2y is 6y plus 13 equals 1. Okay, I have an answer. Over here, the 13 is a number like the answer, so I'm minus 13. 6y equals negative 12, opposites sign, so I subtracted and took the sign larger, and then divide by 6, excuse me. And y, make that more like a 6. Y equals negative 2. Okay. I'm going to look up here. Now, this is y. So the last part of the answer is -2. Let's look and see if we can find one like that. Okay, y is -2. Okay, here it is right here, 5, -2. So we're looking for a 5 answer. Okay, again, I'm going to use the circled equation, the one with the circled in it. And y is -2. So x equals 4 times -2 plus 13. Okay, 4 times -2 is -8 plus 13. And these are opposite signs, so I'm going to subtract. I do get a 5, and the sign of the larger is positive. So x is 5. And that's what we were looking for. So 5 comma -2 is the answer to number 9. Here we go. Okay, not bad, not too hard. Of course, you can go back and look at anything you need to. The earlier problems are on the video I put out yesterday. So we have one more little part here. I don't think it's going to take us very long. We'll finish early today, probably. Give some room. Okay, let's look at this. Label each as a function or a non-function. Okay, we're going to use the vertical line test. Okay, that's what we're going to use. And if you look right here, a vertical line touches 1, 2, 3 places. So I'm going to call this a non-function because it does not pass the vertical line test. Okay, I'm going to use the vertical line test again, and in a bunch of places it crosses twice. Let me circle this over here. Actually, 3 places you can touch it. So this is a non-function also. And I'm going to use the vertical line test here, and it doesn't cross the blue function more than the curve more than once. So we're going to call this a function. Okay, so that was the only function there. Okay, so look at these. I'm going to, you have to remember the rule that you cannot have an x twice. So I'm going to look at this, look at all the x's. They only have one y value to go with it. And so this is a function. Okay, now if I look at this, -3 goes to 4, 0, 8, and 0, -1. You cannot have that, so I'm going to circle this. This makes this a non-function. Okay, I'm going to look at this very carefully. Got stuff twisted up here. -1 goes to 3 only. 0 goes to 4. 2 goes to 3, and 5 goes to 8. So none of these x's have 2 y values. So this is a function also. Okay, going on down. Okay, so again, I'm going to concentrate on the input or the x values, and I don't see any twice. So I'm going to call this a function, and I'm going to label this with just with a big old X to save myself a little bit of writing. Okay, I'm going to look at the x values here, and I'm going to notice that I have 2 with 2 and 2 with 4. So that makes this a non-function. So I'm going to label that with a big old NF. Non-function. Okay, so these are pretty easy. Okay, last two like this. Again, I'm going to notice the input 0, 1, 2, 3, and this is okay. So I'm going to call it a function. Okay, I'm going to look at this and look at the how vertical they are. I'm going to use the vertical line test. So If I use that vertical line test, it does not pass, so I'm going to call that a non-function. Okay. Now this has different directions. This asks to write the domain and range for each. So remember that these are discrete. Discrete meaning that they're not all connected, and therefore you can list them. Remember, anything connected, there are so many points you can't list them. And if you're writing the domain for continuous, these are discrete. Continuous looks like this. Okay, when you have something like that, and the domain has to have X here, and the range has to have the same. Okay, so this is continuous. Put that, but right here we have discrete, so we can list them all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the squiggly line or the bracket, and I'm going to list the X values, 7, 3, 5. Okay, not too good at that. The range, I'll make a different color. And the range, of course, of the Y values, 6, -2, and 1. Okay, don't want to make it look like a 3 there. Okay, so let's go on. Domain here is 2, 6, and 8. Okay, and the range is 4 and -3. Okay, that's all there is to that one, and got a little bit more, and we'll be done. Here, the domain, I want the X value, so I'm going to go along the X axis, and anywhere I see a dot, I'm going to name that X value. Okay, so here's the first dot, and the X value is 2. So I'm going to write a 2 here. I'm going to go across to the next dot, and I see the X value here would be a 3 if it were written. And skip on over, and this would be a 5. Okay, the range. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing, but instead of going left and right, I'm going to go up and down for the y-axis. So if I start here at the origin, my first y value is 1. And if I travel on up, I see this one is 3. And if I travel on up, this y value, is 4. Okay, and one more. The domain. Okay, I'm going to look at the X values. So I'm going to look at -7, the 9, and the -6. And last one, I'm going to look at the Y value, 0, -3, and 2.5. And that is it. This is the end of packet 2. So I will upload this. And I will see y'all later.